Have you ever been in the middle of a conversation when your mind suddenly goes completely blank? That terrifying moment when you have absolutely nothing to say and panic starts to set in? Well, I've got news for you. You're not alone, and more importantly, you're not boring. Today I'm going to reveal the shocking truth about why this happens and give you 9 powerful strategies to ensure you almost never run out of things to say again. Here's something that will blow your mind. The reason you run out of things to say isn't because you don't have enough thoughts. It's because you have too many. Your brain is constantly generating dozens of potential responses, but there's an invisible filter rejecting most of them before they reach your lips. Every time you think, "That's too random," or "They won't care about that," you're actually strengthening this filter, making it harder and harder to speak naturally. Think about it. When someone mentions they just got back from vacation, your mind instantly generates multiple responses. Questions about the trip, comments about your own travel experiences, observations about how relaxed they look. But then your internal critic kicks in. The travel comment seems boring, the joke might fall flat, and suddenly your mind goes blank. This is what I call the conversation paradox. We actually have too much to say, not too little. Understanding this changes everything because now we can focus on the real problem, which isn't generating content, but managing that overactive filter that's sabotaging your conversations. Let me introduce you to the first game-changing strategy, the stop overthinking principle. This simple rule will revolutionize how you communicate. Here it is. Say what comes to mind within 3 seconds. After 3 seconds, your filter kicks in and starts rejecting perfectly good conversation material. Now, this isn't about blurting out inappropriate thoughts. Your basic social awareness still operates. It's about bypassing that second-guessing system that treats every casual conversation like a job interview for a top-secret government position. When you implement this principle, something magical happens. Those boring things you were afraid to say often lead to the best conversations. Why? Because they're authentic, unexpected, and uniquely you. Someone mentions they love dogs, and within 3 seconds you think, "I wonder what kind," or "My neighbor has a dog that barks all night." Don't analyze which is more interesting, just say one. Even that barking neighbor comment could lead to great discussions about difficult neighbors, noise ordinances, or community living. These are conversation paths that would never open with a filtered, perfect response. Think about your closest friends, the people you never run out of things to say with. Notice how little you filter your thoughts around them. That's your goal with everyone you meet. Now let's talk about your conversation superpower, curiosity. The single most powerful tool for never running out of things to say isn't cleverness, it's curiosity. People who can talk to anyone aren't the most interesting people, they're the most interested people. Genuine curiosity solves almost every conversation problem. When you're truly curious, you'll never run out of questions, and people love talking to curious individuals because it feels incredible to be found interesting. The key word here is genuine. Not fake interest as a conversation technique, but real curiosity about the person in front of you. Everyone has something fascinating about them. Your job is to discover what that is. When you become genuinely curious, conversation anxiety evaporates because your focus shifts from your performance to their experience. Instead of worrying about what you'll say next, you're genuinely invested in learning about them. When someone mentions their job, don't just ask what they do and move on. Find the aspect that actually interests you. What's the most challenging part? How did you get started? What would surprise people about your industry? These questions come naturally when you're curious, and they open doors to conversations that go far beyond surface level. Here's a profound truth. In a world where most people are waiting for their turn to speak, the person who listens with genuine curiosity becomes magnetic. People remember how you made them feel, not necessarily what you said. The third strategy is mastering the art of follow-up questions. This is the secret weapon of great conversationalists. They don't necessarily have more to say, they just know how to ask better questions. Follow-up questions transform basic exchanges into deep conversations. The magic formula is: listen, identify details, then dig deeper. Instead of jumping to your related experience, stay with their topic longer. Most people switch topics too quickly out of conversation anxiety, but truly satisfying conversations explore subjects with some depth. Follow-up questions require zero preparation because they're generated from what the other person just said. If someone says they just got back from Italy, the basic response is, "How was it?" But the follow-up master asks, "What was your favorite city?" Then, "What made Florence stand out?" And then, "Was it the architecture that impressed you or something else?" Each question goes one level deeper, showing genuine interest while making the conversation incredibly easy to maintain. By mastering follow-up questions, you shift responsibility off yourself and create space for the other person to share more. This makes you instantly more likable while simultaneously reducing your conversation workload. Strategy number 4 is conversation threading. This technique ensures you never run out of topics. Conversation threading means identifying multiple potential topics within what someone just said. In every response, people offer several conversation threads you can pull on. If someone says, "I just got back from hiking in Colorado with my brother, though the weather wasn't great," there are at least 5 threads: hiking, Colorado, their brother, the weather, or travel in general. By mentally noting these threads, you always have backup topics when one direction runs dry. Try this exercise. Next time you're in a conversation, actually listen for all the possible directions within what someone just said. You'll be amazed at how many options there usually are. By tracking these threads, you'll never face that dreaded, "now what do I say" moment. The 5th strategy is balancing depth and lightness. The most engaging conversations are like good movies. They have both light moments and deeper scenes. Too much depth becomes heavy. Too much lightness feels shallow. Mastering this balance creates memorable interactions that leave people wanting more. Great conversations dance between depth and lightness. Depth creates connection, while lightness creates enjoyment. Start with lighter topics to establish comfort, then introduce deeper elements once rapport exists. When a topic gets too heavy, learn to pivot to something lighter to release tension. After discussing career challenges, you might shift to, "Speaking of work stress, have you seen that viral video of the guy meditating while his office literally falls apart around him?" This maintains the theme while shifting to something lighter. Strategy 6 is having recovery techniques for when your mind blanks. Even with all these strategies, there will still be moments when your mind goes blank. The difference is that now you'll have specific recovery strategies to get conversations flowing again within seconds. When your mind goes blank, try the environment scan technique. Simply comment on something in your immediate surroundings. "This coffee shop has such a great playlist today," or "I really like the artwork they've chosen for this office." Another foolproof recovery is the curious reversion. Return to something they mentioned earlier. "Actually, I'm curious, you mentioned you grew up in Seattle. What was that like?" Everyone experiences conversation blanks, even professional speakers and talk show hosts. The difference is, they've developed recovery techniques that are so smooth, you never notice the glitch. Strategy 7 is creating your conversation emergency kit. Every great conversationalist has a mental emergency kit of go-to topics and questions they can deploy when needed. It's not cheating, it's preparation. Your kit should include versatile topics and questions that work across most situations: current events, entertainment, travel, food, technology, and aspirational questions. Keep 5 to 7 of these ready at all times, refreshing them periodically so they don't become stale. Instead of, "What do you do?" try, "What's been keeping you busy lately?" Instead of, "Seen any good movies?" try, "What shows are you currently watching that you'd recommend?" Rather than, "Have any trips planned?" ask, "If you could teleport anywhere for just 24 hours, where would you go?" These questions work because they're accessible to everyone, but invite more interesting and personal responses. Strategy 8 is appropriate self-disclosure. The fastest way to deepen any conversation is through sharing something genuine about yourself. When you open up slightly, you create safety for others to do the same. Self-disclosure works through the principle of reciprocity. When you share something slightly personal, it creates an invitation for others to match your level of openness. The key is gradually increasing disclosure from facts to opinions to feelings. Instead of just saying you enjoyed a movie, add, "It actually reminded me of my relationship with my sister. We had that same competitive dynamic growing up." This small personal revelation opens the door for them to share about their family dynamics. You're not oversharing, you're simply adding a personal dimension that invites deeper exchange and shows there's a real human being behind your words. The final strategy is mastering the perfect exit. Knowing how to end conversations gracefully is just as important as knowing how to sustain them. A graceful exit leaves a positive final impression and sets the stage for future interactions. The perfect exit has 3 components: positive affirmation, genuine reason, and future bridge. The positive affirmation acknowledges the value of the interaction. The genuine reason provides a non-personal explanation for ending, and the future bridge maintains the connection beyond this single conversation. Instead of an abrupt, "Well, I should go," try, "It's been really great learning about your photography projects. I need to head out for another appointment, but I'd love to see some of your work sometime. Maybe you could send me a link." This formula works in professional settings, social gatherings, or even with strangers, and always leaves a positive impression rather than an awkward feeling. Let me recap what we've covered. You now understand that running out of things to say isn't about lacking interesting thoughts, it's about excessive filtering. You've learned to implement the 3-second rule to bypass overthinking. You know that genuine curiosity is your greatest conversation asset, and that follow-up questions can extend any discussion. You've mastered conversation threading to always see multiple pathways forward, and you have concrete strategies for recovering from mind blanks, creating deeper connections through selective self-disclosure, and ending conversations gracefully. These skills don't just make you a better conversationalist, they transform your entire social experience. Conversations become opportunities for discovery rather than performances to be judged. Social anxiety diminishes as your confidence grows, and most importantly, you create more meaningful connections with the people around you. Because here's the truth, real conversation is the foundation of real relationships. So go out there and start talking. I guarantee you won't run out of things to say, at least not mostly. If this video helped you unlock better conversations, hit that like button, share it with someone who could use these strategies, and subscribe for more content that transforms how you connect with others. What's your biggest conversation challenge? Drop a comment below, and let's keep this conversation going.